The amazing life of the Nagazi Georgian Shepherd. In the rugged mountains and verdant valleys of Georgia, where ancient traditions blend seamlessly with the natural world, lives one of the most remarkable and lesser-known guardian breeds on earth, the Nagazi. This extraordinary shepherd dog, whose name translates roughly to guardian of the flock, represents centuries of careful breeding and an unbreakable bond between humans, livestock, and the wild landscapes of the Caucasus region. Their story is not merely one of canine evolution, but a testament to the enduring partnership between shepherds and their four-legged protectors in one of the world's most challenging environments. Origins in the mists of time. The Nagazi's origins stretch back through the mists of Georgian history, intertwined with the pastoral traditions that have defined life in this mountainous nation for millennia. Archaeological evidence suggests that large guardian dogs similar to the modern Nagazi have protected Georgian flocks for over 2,000 years, their ancestors arriving with various migrations and invasions that swept across the Caucasus. These early canines faced a baptism by fire in a landscape where wolves, bears, and even leopards posed constant threats to valuable livestock. Unlike many modern breeds shaped by human aesthetic preferences, the Nagazi evolved purely through function and survival. Only the strongest, most intelligent, and most fiercely protective dogs survived to pass on their genes. This natural selection process created a breed perfectly adapted to Georgia's unique challenges. Extreme weather variations from scorching summers to brutal winters, treacherous mountain terrain, and the constant presence of large predators. The name Nagazi itself reflects the dog's primary role. In Georgian, the term encompasses concepts of protection, vigilance, and unwavering loyalty. Traditional Georgian shepherds speak of their Nagazis not as mere working animals, but as family members entrusted with their most precious possessions: their flocks, their livelihoods, and often their lives. Physical magnificence and adaptation. The Nagazi presents an imposing figure that commands immediate respect. These are substantial dogs, with males typically weighing between 110 to 150 pounds and standing 28 to 32 inches at the shoulder, while females are slightly smaller but no less formidable. Their build reflects their dual nature as both guardian and working dog. Powerful enough to confront a wolf, yet agile enough to navigate steep mountain paths while moving flocks. Their most striking feature is perhaps their coat, a magnificent double-layered protection system that serves multiple purposes. The outer coat consists of long, coarse guard hairs that repel moisture and debris, while the dense undercoat provides insulation against temperature extremes. This coat comes in various colors, from solid white and cream to darker shades of gray, brown, and black, often with distinctive markings that help shepherds identify individual dogs from great distances. The Nagazi's head is broad and powerful, with a strong jaw capable of delivering a bite force that rivals that of much larger predators. Their ears are traditionally cropped short in working dogs, though this practice varies by region and personal preference. Their eyes, typically dark and alert, hold an intelligence that seems almost human in its depth and understanding. Perhaps most remarkably, the Nagazi possesses what many consider to be the most advanced foot structure among working dogs. Their large, well-padded paws with strong, curved claws provide exceptional grip on rocky surfaces, while their flexible joints allow them to navigate terrain that would challenge even experienced human climbers. This adaptation has allowed them to pursue threats across landscapes where other dogs would simply give up. The guardian's life cycle. The life of a Nagazi begins with careful selection and early socialization that differs markedly from typical companion dogs. Puppies are introduced to livestock from their earliest days, often nursing alongside young lambs or goat kids. This early exposure creates an imprinting that lasts throughout their lives. The flock becomes their pack, their responsibility, and their passion. Young Nagazis undergo an intensive education that combines natural instinct with careful human guidance. They learn to distinguish between normal environmental sounds and genuine threats, to move flocks without causing panic, and to assess when protective action is necessary versus when a show of force will suffice. This training period can last up to 2 years, during which the young dogs work alongside experienced adults, learning the subtleties of their profession through observation and practice. Adult Nagazis typically work in teams of 2 to 4 dogs, with each animal having specific roles based on their temperament and abilities. The alpha dog, usually the oldest and most experienced, makes crucial decisions about threat assessment and response coordination. Younger dogs serve as scouts and perimeter guards, while middle-aged dogs handle the primary protection duties during peak danger periods. The working day of a Nagazi begins before dawn, as they conduct their first security sweep of the area where the flock has spent the night. They check for signs of predator activity, assess weather conditions, and prepare for the day's movement. Throughout the day, they maintain a complex patrol pattern that ensures complete coverage of the flock while conserving energy for potential confrontations. Masters of communication. One of the most fascinating aspects of Nagazi behavior is their sophisticated communication system. These dogs have developed a complex vocabulary of barks, growls, body language, and even facial expressions that allows them to coordinate activities across vast distances and in challenging conditions where visual contact may be impossible. Their famous conversation bark is a long, melodious call that carries for miles across mountain valleys. Each dog's voice is distinctive, allowing shepherds and other dogs to identify the caller and interpret the message being conveyed. A series of short, sharp barks might indicate a minor disturbance, while deep, resonant calls warn of serious threats. The most chilling sound in the Nagazi repertoire is their challenge bark, a deep, thunderous roar that serves as a final warning to potential threats. Beyond vocal communication, Nagazis employ sophisticated scent marking and body language systems. They establish territorial boundaries through strategic scent deposits that communicate not just ownership, but detailed information about pack strength, recent activities, and current alertness levels. Their posture and movement patterns provide additional layers of information to both human shepherds and canine colleagues. Confronting the wild. The most dramatic moments in a Nagazi's life come during encounters with large predators. Georgia's mountains still harbor significant populations of wolves, brown bears, and occasional leopards, all of which view livestock as potential prey. When these encounters occur, the Nagazi's true nature emerges in displays of courage that border on the legendary. Against wolves, Nagazis employ pack tactics that mirror their opponent's strategies. They position themselves to prevent the wolves from isolating individual sheep or goats, while simultaneously launching coordinated attacks designed to drive the predators away rather than fight to the death. Their size advantage and territorial knowledge usually prove decisive, though battles can be fierce and occasionally result in serious injuries to the dogs. Bear encounters represent the ultimate test of a Nagazi's courage. These massive predators can weigh 3 times as much as even the largest dog, but Nagazis have evolved specific techniques for dealing with them. They rely on speed, agility, and coordinated harassment tactics, working to convince the bear that easier prey can be found elsewhere. Remarkably, experienced Nagazis rarely sustain serious injuries in these encounters, testament to their tactical intelligence and restraint. Seasonal adaptations. The Nagazi's life follows the rhythms of Georgia's dramatic seasonal changes, each bringing unique challenges and adaptations. Spring represents the most dangerous period, as predators emerge from winter dens with hungry cubs to feed, while new lambs and kids provide tempting targets. During this season, Nagazis maintain maximum vigilance, often going days with minimal sleep as they guard newborns around the clock. Summer brings its own challenges as flocks move to high mountain pastures where the thin air and extreme weather test the dog's endurance. Nagazis must learn to conserve energy during the intense heat of midday while remaining alert for afternoon thunderstorms that can scatter flocks across dangerous terrain. Their thick coats, which provide essential winter protection, become a burden during the hottest months, requiring careful management of activity levels. Autumn marks the period of preparation, as flocks are moved to lower elevations and Nagazis must adapt their territorial boundaries and patrol patterns. This season often brings increased predator activity as wild animals prepare for winter, creating a final period of high tension before the relative quiet of the cold months. Winter transforms the Nagazi's world into a harsh, unforgiving environment where survival depends on every adaptation evolution has provided. Their thick coats reach maximum density, their metabolism adjusts to conserve energy, and their behavior patterns shift to accommodate the shortened days and extreme cold. During severe storms, Nagazis have been known to use their bodies to shelter newborn animals, sometimes remaining motionless for hours to provide life-saving warmth. The human-Nagazi partnership. The relationship between Georgian Shepherds and their Nagazis transcends typical pet ownership or even working partnerships. These dogs are considered family members, protectors, and partners in a lifestyle that demands absolute trust and mutual dependence. Shepherds often speak of their Nagazis with a reverence typically reserved for honored ancestors or beloved children. This partnership begins with careful selection of breeding pairs based not just on physical characteristics, but on temperament, intelligence, and compatibility with specific flocks and working conditions. Traditional Georgian Shepherds maintain detailed oral histories of their dogs' lineages, tracking traits and characteristics across multiple generations to ensure the continuation of successful bloodlines. The daily interaction between Shepherd and Nagazi involves a constant flow of communication and mutual assessment. Experienced shepherds can read their dogs' moods, health status, and threat assessments from subtle changes in behavior, while the dogs respond to almost imperceptible human signals and cues. This level of cooperation develops over years of shared experiences and mutual reliance in life-threatening situations. Diet and nutrition in the wild. The Nagazi's diet reflects both their working demands and the resource constraints of traditional pastoral life. Unlike pampered pets, these dogs must maintain peak physical condition on a diet that varies dramatically with seasons and availability. During abundant periods, they receive meat scraps, dairy products, and grains, but they must also be capable of hunting small prey and foraging when necessary. Their digestive systems have adapted to handle irregular feeding schedules and varying food qualities. Nagazis can consume large quantities of food when available, storing energy as fat reserves that sustain them during lean periods. They've also developed the ability to digest foods that would cause problems for other breeds, including certain wild plants and even bone meal from livestock. Water sources present particular challenges in mountain environments, where streams may be contaminated or frozen for extended periods. Nagazis have learned to locate safe water sources and can survive on minimal hydration when necessary, though they require substantial amounts during peak working periods. Health and longevity. Despite their harsh working conditions, Nagazis typically enjoy remarkably good health and longevity, often working effectively into their teenage years. This durability results from centuries of natural selection that eliminated genetic weaknesses and promoted robust health traits. However, their demanding lifestyle does create specific health considerations that shepherds must understand and address. Joint problems, while less common than in many large breeds, can develop from the constant stress of mountain climbing and physical confrontations. Traditional Georgian veterinary knowledge includes herbal treatments and physical therapy techniques that help maintain joint health throughout the dog's working lives. Eye problems occasionally occur from exposure to intense sunlight and wind, while coat conditions may develop from environmental stresses. The most serious health risks come from injuries sustained during predator encounters or accidents in treacherous terrain. Experienced shepherds become skilled in field veterinary care, treating wounds, setting bones, and managing infections with limited resources. The dog's remarkable healing ability and high pain tolerance often allow them to recover from injuries that would permanently disable other animals. Modern challenges and conservation. Today's Nagazi faces challenges that their ancestors could never have imagined. Urbanization and changing agricultural practices threaten traditional pastoral lifestyles, while habitat destruction reduces the natural ranges where these dogs evolved. Climate change affects migration patterns of both prey and predators, disrupting the ecological balance that shaped Nagazi behavior. Perhaps most significantly, the influx of foreign dog breeds and changing aesthetic preferences threatens the genetic integrity of traditional Nagazi bloodlines. Well-meaning but uninformed breeding practices risk diluting the traits that make these dogs uniquely adapted to their environment and role. Conservation efforts led by Georgian cultural organizations and international working dog associations focus on documenting traditional breeding practices, maintaining genetic registries, and educating new generations of shepherds about the importance of preserving authentic bloodlines. These programs also work to establish breeding pairs in new locations where traditional pastoral practices continue to thrive. The Nagazi's future. The future of the Nagazi breed depends largely on the continued viability of traditional Georgian pastoral culture and the dedication of those who understand their unique value. While modern livestock protection methods exist, none can match the adaptability, intelligence, and cultural significance of these remarkable dogs. International recognition of the breed's importance has grown significantly in recent years, with working dog enthusiasts and conservationists recognizing the Nagazi as a living treasure that represents thousands of years of successful human-animal cooperation. Research programs now study their behavior, genetics, and working methods to better understand both their conservation needs and their potential applications in modern contexts. Young Georgian Shepherds, influenced by global connectivity and changing economic opportunities, face decisions about whether to continue the traditional practices that sustain the Nagazi. Education programs that highlight the breed's remarkable capabilities and cultural importance work to inspire new generations to value and preserve this heritage. Conclusion: Guardians of a living heritage. The amazing life of the Nagazi represents more than just the story of a remarkable dog breed. These animals embody the enduring human quest to live in harmony with challenging natural environments through partnerships based on mutual respect and shared purpose. Their courage, intelligence, and unwavering dedication serve as examples of the extraordinary capabilities that emerge when animals are allowed to develop according to their deepest instincts and highest potential. In our modern world of rapid change and technological solutions, the Nagazi reminds us that some challenges are best met through time-tested partnerships that honor both human wisdom and animal intelligence. Their story continues to unfold in the mountains of Georgia, where each new generation of dogs carries forward an ancient legacy while adapting to contemporary challenges. The Nagazi's amazing life serves as a bridge between past and future, connecting us to the fundamental relationships that shaped human civilization while pointing toward possibilities for sustainable coexistence with the natural world. In protecting and preserving these remarkable dogs, we preserve not just a breed, but a way of life that has proven its worth across centuries of testing in some of Earth's most demanding environments.